What is going on, guys? Welcome to your 31st MySQL lesson. And in this tutorial, I want to finish up kind of talking about messing with tables, the last main things that we need to talk about. The first thing is, I already showed you guys how to create a table and how to make like all the data types and columns and stuff. But what if you want to maybe add an additional column? Maybe you make your table and say, okay, this is good, but you have your website up and running, and about a month later, you're like, dang, I really need an extra piece of information when people sign up. So let's go ahead and learn how to do that. Anytime you already have an existing table and you want to add a column, you can do it in one of two ways. I'll show you guys the first way. Alter table, and we'll just go ahead and alter this bacon table right here. So go ahead and write the name of your table after, which is bacon. And if you want to add a column, just go ahead and hit add, and then write the name of your column, the new one, which is sample column or whatever. And then, of course, just like whenever you're creating a column for the first time, you need a data type, which can be, well, it doesn't really matter for this example. I'm just going to make it a varchar with 10. So now, what this does, whenever you run this query, it's going to add a new column to this bacon table, which is called sample column, which has the data type of varchar 10. Simple enough. Now, in order to drop a column, or in other words, delete a column from this table, let's go ahead and run another query. It's basically the same thing, but instead of add, you hit drop column, and I'll discuss the differences later on. So alter table basically means change the table, bacon, and drop column. Now what column do we want to drop? Well, it turns out that we didn't need that sample column after all. Now the other thing that's different aside from add turns into drop column, you know how when we added a column we needed to specify the data type? Well, whenever we're dropping a column, MySQL doesn't really matter what that data type is, it just cares about the column name. So if we go ahead and run this right here, it's going to say, it's going to give us, a confirmation. Do you really want to drop that column? Yes, we do. Go ahead and hit OK. And now our column is dropped. So that is one way that we could add columns and drop columns. Another way is, and sometimes you may want to do this, whenever you want to kind of preserve the data and just make a new table, you can just go ahead and make an entirely new table. So say we had this bacon table right here. Bacon has ID, username, and password. Now, if I wanted to make a new table with an additional column, but I didn't want to, maybe mess up this table, or I was afraid of editing it, what I would do was I would create an entirely different table, maybe name it Bacon 2 or something like that, and I would take all this data and import it into Bacon 2, and that way if I messed up anything, I still had just this original table. So that is another variation that you can do that. So say that you did that and now all of your data is successfully transferred into a new table called Bacon 2. Well, now we want to get rid of this Bacon table because, hey, it's just taking up space on our database. So in order to delete an entire table, here's how you do that. Drop table bacon. Now, whenever you do this, be absolutely sure that you never want to use the table again. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and it's going to give us our confirmation. And not only does it delete the table, but all of the information. So again, make sure that you definitely are very careful with this command. So drop table, okay. The bacon table is dropped. So now, actually, now that I think about it, I probably should have done these last two little lessons in reverse order. But I'm going to show you guys how to rename a table. So now that we don't have bacon to work with anymore, I guess I can't rename it to anything like sausage or anything. But check this out. You know how we have this customers table and it kind of has all the users information? Well, I've been doing these tutorials and I was kind of thinking, you know what? Wouldn't it be handy if this customers table was actually named users instead? That would be maybe make things a lot more clear. So, what if I could rename this table customers to users? Wouldn't that be nice? Yes, it would. So let's go ahead and learn how to rename a table. Anytime you want to not, import data, don't mess with the data at all. Just change the title of the table. Go ahead and hit rename table and then give it the name of your original table, which is customers. And now go ahead and write to and then give it a new name. So I want to rename the customers table to users. So I'm going to go ahead and run this and it's going to say, okay, your query has been successfully executed. Now, it doesn't update here, but if you go ahead and look on your database, you can see that it does indeed update. So I just want to mention that not only with, whenever you're renaming stuff, but sometimes whenever you're deleting things in PHP it takes a little bit to update on the left-hand side. But if you go ahead and, exit out, then look back in, it should be updated. So, anyways, that is how you change columns, add columns, drop columns, delete tables, rename tables. So now that's basically all there is for table-wise, how to create tables and mess with tables. So in the upcoming tutorials, we're going to be learning about some advanced techniques that go beyond the basics. And for right now, how can I say this? You are an intermediate MySQL user, but the next 10 tutorials are going to take you to the next level. They're going to be awesome and amazing. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys then.